everyone. Welcome to Strange Invasion Assault on the Barrier Peaks. Welcome to Salty Sweet Games. I am the aforementioned Salty.
And I'm Sweet.
And these various assorted spices are our friends. What are we doing today, Kienna?
What are we doing today? We're playing some D&D.
Oh!
But before we do that, we should probably do some channel stuff, I think.
Yeah,
That's probably
so.
important.
Yeah.
So first off, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Roll20.
A virtual tabletop of choice. Nailed it.
They are bringing gamers together with their browser-free virtual tabletop. We are part of the Spotlight program, so you'll get to see our rolls through Roll20.
Nice.
As well, we are sponsored by Dice Envy. So if you like your physical click-clacks, if you
Your
like them
chunky
in
boys.
if you like them in acrylics, in metals, in wood, in gemstone even, please go check out Dice Envy and use the code SaltySweet, all caps, one word, to get 10% off of your order. They are still shipping out stuff real fast right now, so even when you're in a different country, I got mine pretty fast, in about a week or two, so go check them out, get some pretty dice in your life. Other things, includes we have donation options.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, check out our donation options down below, where you can help support the channel and you can help support the players. Please help us, please. We almost died last week. Be kind of nice to have some stuff. Just saying. Just saying.
Just saying.
And of course, thank you to everyone who subs and all that stuff. We have sub badges coming in real soon. Our artist,
pretty.
Our sub artist, our artist Darnessa is working on them right now. They're real cute. So wait for those. And of course, we got all our cute emotes as well, if you support us that way. And of course, last but not least, we use safety tools here on Salty Sweet Games, because no matter what happens to our characters, we want to make sure that everyone's at the table is having fun, so that even when shit's going bad, we're still enjoying when shit's going bad. So we use those. If you want to learn more about that, check out the TTRPG Safety Toolkit, which I co-made. I think that's all the channel stuff I need to cover.
Yeah, that sounds good. We should. Who are you playing?
Who am I playing? I'm playing Ardent, who is the Azamar Paladin. Got knocked out of the sky. Not feeling great about how things are going. But she's the leader, whether they want it or not. So here we are. Hey, what about you, Lauren? Who are you playing?
I'm Lauren, and I'm playing Dulcinea, also known as Dulce or Sweets, who is an Eladrin swashbuckler rogue, who's definitely not a murder baby. That's all. I have nothing else to say. We should meet our other players. Let's start with Jim.
Hello!
Hello!
Good evening, one and all. I don't know why I do these things. I'm Jim. I use he, him pronouns, and tonight I am playing Devlin Archon, Angry Dirt Wizard, Fiery Dwarven Dirt Wizard, as it turns out, who also uses he, him pronouns. And I'm very pleased to be here.
Excellent. And last but certainly not least, Gnome!
Hi, I'm Gnome, and I'm playing Idoso Farleaf, who is a Lightfoot Halfling Ranger Rogue, who really could benefit from a long rest.
Long rests.
Just saying. Did a lot of running.
What even are those? We don't know her.
No.
And speaking of a her that we don't know or trust, is this a good segue? Allie? Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
The day has arrived. Thank you all so much. Welcome everybody, and I'm so glad you are here tonight for Strange Invasion Assault on the Barrier Peaks. I'm your dungeon master. I will be guiding this grim expedition to the borderlands of fantasy and weird science, and that's where we pick up. 3 days ride, 3 days tracking your Ersat's companions, who, like you, had been dispatched by Bronwyn Barrelhelm, the Steward of the Mountains, to investigate strange and brutal raids on the outposts and villages of the north. 3 exhausting days' ride up the Tumbledown River Valley when you finally spotted them across a wide boulder field, encamped for the night. Idoso and Dulce scouted ahead, moving across the open ground like silent shadows, while Ardent and Devlin remained behind. The swashbuckler and the ranger had crossed about half of the 200 yards to their destination when, from behind boulders and crags on the hillside above the party, the hill giants attacked, a hunting party of 4, led by a sergeant of sorts in chain armor with links like a ship's anchor chain. Ardent's radiant Azamar soul shone out across the field, and they rose into the night sky like a rocket, while Devlin prepared to draw fire from the arcane forge that fuels his magic. But as boulders rained down and clubs the size of trees swung through the darkness, both were quickly struck down. Dulce and Idoso could only watch in horror as the paladin and the abjurer fell, disappearing into the night as Ardent's soul light faded and went out. But the divines were on our hero's side, as Ardent and Devlin regained consciousness, Idoso rained crossbow bolts down on the giants and reached across a dimensional rift to summon a bloodhawk to assist. Dulce tossed casual insults in giant speak across the field, breathed fire to draw their attention away from her friends, and then literally climbed on one of the giants' backs to strike a grievous blow. When the battle ended, our heroes hastened to the encampment on the far side of the boulder field, only to find that their companions had vanished into the night. All of them but one, that is. Behind a fallen evergreen, about 40 feet outside the fire's circle of light, Dulce discovered the spy, Cherry Redding, daughter of the noble family of Mantigar, bound and gagged, bruised, and in a panic. And that is where we will begin. Dulce.
Mm-hmm.
You stand here over Cherry. She's been bound quite expertly. Her wrists tied, her ankles tied, and then the two tied together. Some kind of rag or handkerchief tied in her mouth. Another bundle of fabric there, keeping her from making almost any noise that could be heard from any distance. But her eyes are wide, and the whites of them shine in the nearly full moonlight as she looks up at you.
How far away is everyone else from me?
Well, the campsite is about 40 feet away. I'll let your companions share what they're doing or where they are.
Cool, so far away from me. Great. I kind of kneel down, like squat super casually. And I'm going to reach in and like pull out the gag, but like very slowly.
As you pull it out, she can't help but shake a little bit. And then she coughs and sputters as it comes out. Oh, shh.
There are hill giants around.
I saw them. I saw the battle. Are you all well?
You got keen eyesight for a human.
see the fire and the light from here.
So, why are you tied up?
She shakes a bit again. Treachery. Peril and treachery. It was the mercenary. I knew he was... I knew he was plotting something.
Which one's that?
Aranok.
Aaron. Right. Did the others know?
I don't know. I had... Perhaps I could just share this with all of you. Please, untie me.
Okay. Calm down, Allyson. Looking at her injuries, do they look like they've been played, like, you know, when you gotta, like, look like you got beat up, right? So you don't actually hit anything important. Like, how beat up is she? Really?
I'll describe her injuries to you. If you want to make a medicine check, you can do that to see.
Yeah, why not? I'm so good at that. Why wouldn't I do it?
You're so good at that.
I'm so good at that! Natural 20 for anybody without the screen pulled.
Yes. She has, one side of her face is heavily bruised. And it's, there's even, in the midst of it, over her cheekbones, is a cut, perhaps from a ring or something that was in the hand of the person who hit her. There's, now that you pull the gag away, you can see there's blood in her mouth as well, and some that's kind of begun to dry below her nose. As for, these would appear to be legitimate injuries from a beating.
Wait, was Aranok wearing a ring, or was Captain Fuckface? I don't write down NPC names.
I mean, Captain Fuckface is appropriate.
Ryko! It was
Yeah.
Ryko. Nailed it. Wasn't he wearing a ring?
You would probably remember well enough to know that both of them were wearing rings.
Did it leave, like, an imprint of, like, the symbol of the ring?
No, even with a critical success, you don't see that. Okay. I'm sorry?
Yeah, nothing. I was just arguing with you. Cool. Well, yeah, I'm gonna call they're pretty hurt too. Everyone got their arses kicked but me. It's just because I'm such a good fighter. So, did they give you a reason why? Or why he did this? Mr. Aranok?
She says, she nods and she's starting to get her breath back now.
Uh-huh.
She said, I discovered that he was passing secrets. He knows who you are, Dulcinea. He knows what you've done.
Passing secrets to whom?
To her. To the queen.
Oh, fucking shite balls, mother. Oi, superior good twin party. We have a guest. Oi!
Like rather. Oh, that sounded like rather a line of expletives. Who have we got here?
Miss Cherry Redding. She's injured, so we should help her.
Who did the injuring?
The aeronaut lad, the mercenary.
Disappointing. What is this?
Here, let me. And Ardent's gonna kneel down and I'm using one of my healing things.
One of your many heals. Oh, here's a question. Is she still armed?
No, she's not, that you can see.
This is either a very good cover job or she's telling the truth.
We're so jaded. We don't even know these people.
Yeah, I'll use my healing hands, so she'll get 7 HP back.
That's great, thank you. And so as you lay hands on her to heal her, you see the bruises begin to fade. The cut heals up.
Ardent
And-
absolutely had like a hand on her cheek.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Guardian. Could you untie me? It's terribly uncomfortable. I'm cramped for, feels like hours.
When did they leave you here, by the by?
It was an hour before you arrived, at least. We were gathering wood for the fire. He caught me out some distance away from the camp. He discovered somehow that I knew. Before I could expose him, he overpowered me, bound me like this. And all I could do was lie here and listen as he told them lies about me. Said that I'd run off, that I'd stolen something of his.
Inside check.
Inside check!
Basically.
Let's all do it together.
Oh no, Dulce totally straight up believes her.
Hey, not bad.
Yeah. You don't see any signs that she's not telling the truth about what she's experienced.
What about the others? Are they all in and out too, or?
I don't think so. The young one, Cythriel, I don't think she knows anything at all. I'm not sure why she's here, but Aranok and Raiko they've been thick as thieves since the beginning. I wouldn't be surprised if Raiko knew something.
Dulce kind of like looks a bit over to Ardent.
You probably see like the eyes squint just a little bit at that.
Please, may I have some water or something? My throat is so parched from the rags.
Yeah, Dulce will go ahead and open up his water skin and help her with it.
And she sort of leans up toward it. You're not able, it's almost impossible not to spill it down her cheeks and her neck, but she's grateful for the... Thank you. Thank you.
You said that Aranok somehow found out that you knew something? What?
Yes.
What did he... What? What was this?
He's passing messages and receiving them from
He's a spy. He's a spy for another faction, basically.
No, Dulce, not another faction. For the queen.
Which queen?
The queen.
For a spy, you're awfully bad at picking up signals.
The Queen of Air and Darkness, Forge Master.
Ah. Huh. Interesting. What are they up to these days? That's strange.
Please, I know that you don't trust me. I know that, well, most people don't trust me, but you have nothing to fear from me. But I think we have much to fear from him.
What possible interest would the Court of Air and Darkness have on this plane? They've been very removed up until now, from what I'd understand. Unless there's something to do with all this?
I know the answer to that question, Forge Master.
Dulce's.
But
Did
but
you hear
you
my
must.
teeth sucking?
But you must untie me.
Idoso goes for like a hunting knife.
Oh, Idoso.
Nobody stops him. He's
Idoso,
gonna-
Idoso, hi, real quick.
What?
Are we sure this is Cherry Redding? Allie, is this like someone disguised as Cherry Redding?
That's a very good question, I suppose. I wonder if any of you would have had the opportunity to meet her or to know that. She was identified to you as Cherry Redding by Lady Barrelhelm.
Mm-hmm. I mean, is this person different than the person we met?
You don't see anything to indicate that this is a different person. If you'd like to roll something, you can do that. And
Maybe the wizard could roll something.
Shall I roll something?
Maybe the wizard.
I am trying to think back to
When I meet the wizard. It's been a weird day.
Yeah, trying to think.
Lord.
It's been a weird day.
Mood.
Fair enough. Oh yeah. I'm trying to think back, by the way, to the things that my friend told me before we came into this into the Barrier Peaks.
yes.
Just before we came in about Cherry Redding, because I know that we talked about her, but unfortunately Jim's memory is not as good right now about this as about recent events as Devlin's is. But I know that I know that there was something where I was trying to remember. She had said that just mostly, we didn't know much more, but just that she had been posted previously to this other kingdom.
Yes.
And so it's like, when I talked to Izakel, did she say anything else that would make me think that that Cherry shouldn't be here right now, or is that or am I just imagining that?
The scene waves for a moment as there's a flashback. and we're back there at the foot of the crag where you met Izakel, right just as you were leaving for the ride to the north, and she's telling you that most were surprised by Mistress Redding's departure for the Northlands. She's not known for her eagerness to be off on adventures, at least those that don't include feasting tents and warm, dry beds. Her
Okay.
family, of course, are making much of her being here, proof of her devotion to the realms and their people, etc. But Ezekiel said it's all balderdash, of course.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there's so there is like something that they're having her do. It's just that, okay. All right. Oh. Well. I will briefly say, I just sort of turn quietly to the others and say, as far as I recall, there's no reason to believe that she's not, she shouldn't be here, or indeed she's not still working for the people she was working for. The family she was working for in particular. just sort of turning around. Just sort of looking at. Was there something else? Was there something else that you had indicated that I should be staring at here aside from
just like, illusion magic.
Oh, that stuff. Yeah, okay.
Wizard stuff.
That stuff. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna look for signs of that. I would just say, and actually, as I do so, I would just say to her, if you'll be patient. We just need to take a precaution. I hope that's all right, my lady.
Yes, of course, Forge Master.
I'm going to this for the next 10 minutes. I'll be casting Detect Magic.
Yes.
While he's ritual casting, I just want to ask Cherry. So, why'd you leave so abruptly without meeting with Lady Barrelhelm?
That was Aronok's idea. He convinced Ryko that it was best if we departed first. He said that he had information enough, that he'd just come back from the peaks, and he had gear for us as well. It was brought from the Grey Battalions. He said we could not trust you.
The nerve.
Why couldn't we be trusted? I mean, we all need to be working together on this. This is something that's pretty out of this world. It's going to impact not just us or them, but like literally everybody. So what gives?
He didn't offer many details, at least to me. He spoke at length with Commander Dorthin before they made the decision for us to depart. But Dulce, I know that your name came up.
I'm very popular. And maybe I called Captain Ryko a few names. I'm sure that was it.
Sad to say, I don't know.
Right, so you were the only one here who saw anything that happened with the Hell Giants?
No, they were here when the Hill Giants attacked. As soon as the battle was joined, I heard them gather up their things. And then they disappeared shortly thereafter.
They left us. We could have died. They almost died.
I can only tell you what I know. Aronok Ladinion is a son of the Queen. I'd learned some of this before arriving. Just doing my due diligence, of course. I'd known that he arrived here about 50 years ago or so. But what I discovered is that he had been secretly serving her ever since. He entered the Grey Battalions as a private soldier and worked his way up, slotted his way up to command. He's only half Fey, you know. His father apparently was immortal, dwarvish lineage the best that we could determine.
There's a very brief pause in the ritual as it's being cast. It sort of stops for a second, blinks, and then continues on hearing that.
I'm happy to tell you all that I know, but I'm not going to give away information for free.
Well, I mean, if it's corn you're looking for, I honestly don't got much.
I just want to be untied, Idoso.
Oh, yeah. And, like, Idoso's gonna look over to Dulce, and he's got, like, his hunting knife out, like...
Wizard.
But he's slow and tired. And, like, definitely probably almost died. Also, he's kind of old. I can literally just cut... Like, we don't need magic to get off ropes.
No,
like,
that's not...
it's really easy. I could
No.
even undo the knots. I didn't have to use them.
No. I just want to make sure she is who she says she is. That's what Devlin's doing.
Oh.
In due process, Miss Redding. Soon enough.
Due process. That's something I enjoy about this world. Due process.
Ardent's brow goes up.
No need for an insight check. So, as the ritual draws to an end, Devlin, how do you sense magic when you have cast this spell? How does it appear to you?
It's a thing where it's like kind of tuning in, as I recall, sort of seeing the pattern, the flow of magical energies in the world, and just sort of separating out the ones that are naturally supposed to be there from the ones that'll then immediately sort of things like stuff from spell schools will suddenly start showing up a lot better.
Cool.
And kind of like sort of zeroing in on those and then just sort of seeing what those are and what they're doing.
Yes.
What direction they're
going. As it all begins to resolve before you, at first you sense just the very low level sort of hum of probably some elvish ancestry, which is not all that uncommon for humans in your world, and even for those of other cultures somewhere back there in her family's history. As it resolves a bit more, though, you see this aura that kind of hovers around her that you're accustomed to seeing around mortals who have some capability of using magical powers. In this case, it's not at your level of power, not close to that, but you would imagine that she probably has access to some low-level spells of some kind. But that's all. She's not carrying anything that radiates any particular type of magic.
And I don't see any spells currently active on her or anything in the area.
No, you don't.
We'll actually just sort of look around real quick while I got the site up, just to make sure there's nothing else coming at this from the side or anything like that I need to be worrying about.
It's good. Of course, your friends, many of them shine brightly with different wavelengths of magical power. You don't see anything beyond that, although you do notice that the items that you have discovered that are of strange origin, including this strange three-fingered gauntlet that you found, they're black. There's nothing coming off
Yeah.
of them, just silhouettes against the background field of magic, the weave that permeates this plane.
Yeah. And I assume that around in these parts, there's probably all manner of like the sealed portals and all that, the signs of all that all over the place, things like that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That same static that Idoso has experienced.
Okay. So I will pull back and I will just turn to them. And back to the companions as I finish sort of staring out. We come back, so leaning on my staff. She's got nothing. There's no active magic happening. She has talents, but nothing that's currently being enacted.
Dulce looks at Idoso and is just like, all right.
I feel like there's that like anime moment, right? Where like the little one just like holds up the knife and it just hits the moonlight just right to have that shing, like cuts the ropes loose.
Thank you for your
Thank
patience,
you.
my lady.
She stretches and it's almost as if she's enacting some sort of not like martial arts or anything, but just enacting some very patterned stretching. Thank you. So,
like,
what do you want to know? I can share with you what I discovered in the messages. She's kind of focused on you, Devlin, at this point. You've treated her with respect, and there's some gratitude for that. From what I was able to determine, about 3 months ago, the Queen sensed the awakening of a power here on Prime. Some strange power, the likes of which she had never known before. In the messages, she called it mindless, devoid of agenda or desire, pure, waiting to be harnessed. She immediately dispatched Aranok to bring this great power to her. He had been serving her secretly here since his arrival. This expedition is his third attempt to bring that power back. He believes that the strange creatures, the knights that have attacked these villages are defending that power in some way. And she turns now to you, Dulce. And you were there. Dulcinea, you were in the messages. She shared with him what you had done, and he knows. But I do not think that he's a threat to you at this point. He is single-minded in finding this power.
Good. Great.
Sort of lean in. Do you know, is he got this company of mercenaries working with him, or is that also a fiction?
No, to the best of my knowledge, the Grey Battalions were still encamped to the south. He spoke with Raiko of giving some thought to marching them into the mountains, but they're not suited for mountain combat. He felt as though a smaller party might have a better chance of finding the source of this power and retrieving it.
Do you know where they were heading? Here. Are they heading just straight to the top, or are they... Do you know if they're going to be turning off somewhere?
She shakes her head. I don't. The two of them were very secretive about their plans. I heard them speak once of what we might do when we arrived at High Moraine, but that's all, I'm afraid.
What did they say you might do when you arrived at High Moraine?
He said that from that point we might be able to determine where the attacks were coming from. He mentioned dog sleds or something like that. Yeah, I was not looking forward to that. He believed the fortress to have been compromised, though. The tower, that is, at High Moraine. She's rubbing her wrists and getting circulation back into her hands.
Well, I think that's about all I can personally take in a night. Most of you look like shite, so I feel like maybe the best thing to do is to take a nice long sleep.
I think that's an appropriate course. We at least have some idea of where they're going.
Right, and we can catch them tomorrow.
Yeah. And Ardent looks out, kind of to that horizon, sighs. I assume, Miss Redding, that you'll be staying with us for a little while then.
She nods her head. I would be most grateful, Guardian. I'm afraid I no longer have my bedroll or my equipment. Someone could spare a blanket.
I'm sure Ardent wouldn't
Be
mind.
grateful.
They're so self-sacrificing and noble.
Ardent looks over to Dulce.
Oh, you know what, Cherry? You can have mine and I'll bunk with Ardent. That's better. That's a better choice.
I'm taking first watch, so you can sort that out yourselves.
Great.
Ardent's gonna casually walk to the perimeter of this campfire.
I think that we're good to remain camped here, or do you think we should move a bit, given that the giants were out?
I mean, do you think that they're really going to come back? You kind of
Yeah, hopefully not.
crisped them up a bit.
If that was their leader, then they hope
Like,
they should
deep
be-
fry.
If that was their leader, they'll need time in any case. If you think we're good here, then I think we're probably fine here.
And so,
There is one thing I want to do before we all bed down for the night, if I may. I'm sorry.
Please.
I do want to pull Cherry aside at one point. I just want to, before we all, I just wanted to ask you one other thing, as you seem to know some things about this aeronaut fellow.
yes, Forge Master.
Do you by any chance know how old he is supposed to be?
I know that he's been here on Prime for for about 50 years. My sources indicated that he was perhaps that many years when he arrived. As I said, he's of dwarvish ancestry, so as you consider his appearance, that this aligns with what you might expect.
Yes. Thank you. Just wanted to consult on that. I appreciate it. Gives me a better idea of what to try to look through. We have more time.
Yes, of course. And Forge Master, thank you again.
I know you're just doing your job. And I'm going to sit down at my just before wherever my little area where I'm going to where I do the camping thing. We're getting ready to lie down for the night. And let me just check the range on this spell that I just picked up. Just real quick. Excellent. Because I just picked up this an available spell slot, I think. Do I have it? I don't. Damn it. Okay, never mind. No, wait. Can I cast a Desire? I don't think I can. Can I use a... I think I can use my level 4 spell slot for this, though.
What's the spell?
It's Sending. It's a level 3 spell.
Yeah.
Can I use my level 4 slot?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. Let me. I'm gonna basically just. I'm going to sit there and I'm just going to do Sending.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do a Sending to the to Izakel. And it's just basically the message is, when you have the facility, I'll need whatever you have on Aranok. He's a child of air and darkness.
Lovely.
And then I will sleep. Or probably try to sleep and not be able to, I'm guessing. Damn it.
Yes. So just to verify, your watch order for the evening, Ardent, Idoso, Dulce, and then Devlin with the final watch. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Good. The night is cold. It is very cold. And somewhere, Idoso, toward the end of your watch, flurries of snow begin to fall out of the sky. The wind, though, thankfully has died down, and under the trees where you're resting, there's some shelter from the evergreen boughs over your head. And one by one, you take your watch and then take your rest.
Hi.
Yes,
So,
Dulcinea.
during my watch, I'm gonna sneak on over to Cherry Redding.
Okay. Can I ask you to hold for just a moment, because I want to talk to Idoso about his watch.
Oh, yeah.
Is just
Oh no! You said it was snowing. It's
Yeah.
so nice. That's it. It's great.
Yeah, the end.
It is.
Yeah.
It is absolutely beautiful.
Hi, Raiders.
And Raiders, welcome. We're
so
so glad that you're here. You are joining us high in the Barrier Peaks for a Dungeons & Dragons 5e adventure, Strange Invasion. This is our run through the classic Dungeons & Dragons module expedition to the Barrier Peaks on the borderlands of fantasy and weird science. Speaking of all of those things, Idoso, as your watch ends, you wake Dulce, and then you lay down in your your bedroll, and you drift quickly off to sleep. And as you sleep, you awaken, and you find yourself walking along a narrow cliff. Let's try that. To your right, a sheer wall of basalt and granite rises up into the darkness. It shines in the light of that nearly full moon. And to your left, the ground drops away hundreds of feet, maybe 1,000. And as you look downward, your eyes can barely make out the river below you. So it looks like a ribbon of silver in the moonlight. And there, where your feet are standing, a bare foot of rock runs along the cliffside to what you hope is safer ground ahead of you, some distance. But the cliff curves around this rock face to your right, and around behind you as well. The wind is picked up, it's cold, you can feel it blowing through your hair. What would you like to do?
Cool. I mean, obviously looking around and trying to find, like, it's not afraid of heights or anything like that. It's actually pretty cool and quite a bit ways down. But is there like any indication, like upwards, that there's something up there, or like a type of cavern entrance or something like that? I'd probably be looking for as a place to get out of the wilds.
Make a perception check for me, please.
Oh, I'm so good at
good.
perception checks.
Can't wait for this then.
The best.
Mm-hmm.
Can I? There we go.
You can't roll a natural one, you're a halfling.
Thank you!
Try again.
Cool! Even better!
Yes.
Great. It's freaking cold and a really long way down and a really long way up.
Yes.
Cool.
You are walking forward, or at least you were a moment ago, before you stopped, and you don't remember why. You just remember that you were walking forward along this path, this narrow cliff as it curves around the rock face to the right.
Hello? I was gonna try to bounce his voice off the rocks.
It's silent for a moment, just the wind, and then, hello? Your own voice comes echoing back to you. And then again, hello? Before it's swallowed up by the wind.
Dulce, is this like some sort of prank you're playing? Because I'm cold.
Dulce? Frank? The echo. And then the wind again. The wind is a bit tempestuous. It picks up very suddenly and almost as if it's come up between you and the cliff. And for the barest of moments, you feel the tenuousness of your situation, and then it dies away back to what it was.
Ooh. Okay, there. I think Idoso's going to just kind of close his eyes for a moment. Is he wearing his normal gear? Does he have his stuff with him?
Yes, you do.
Okay. I think you'd like to, if possible, just kind of close his eyes and see if there's any, like, maybe he's like sleep portal or something. Like, that's definitely happened before. Like, he had a dream and he kind of woke up, then he walked to a place and kind of fell into a portal, and yeah, there's a whole story there behind it. So if he can possibly activate his portal detection.
Yes. You close your eyes for a moment and engage your senses, and it's very different from what you've experienced before here in the peaks, in that there's nothing. That static where there were portals or broken ends of portals almost everywhere is completely gone. Ahead of you, though, on the path, or more properly, around the path from where you are, not a portal perhaps, but something.
He'll kind of run up to it. Let his feet carry him.
You move as quickly as you can along this very narrow ledge. It goes around to the right, and as you go, in just a moment, you come around a crag, and that's when you see her. It's Cithrel, Fenkarin. She's walking like you along the cliff ahead, maybe 50 feet ahead of you.
Cithrel! Aye! Oi! Here! Wait up! I was gonna kind of try to, like, sprint after her.
You call out and begin to run, and you see her turn toward you. She turns over the right and puts her hand on the rock wall. And she sees you and makes eye contact with you. And then the scene glitches. And you're there where she was standing, except she's not standing there anymore. And you look down, and she's holding on to the edge of the cliff. She's hanging on with her fingers to that edge with 1,000 feet of drop below her, illuminated in the sunlight. Idoso, help me. Help me. I don't want to fall. Help me.
You won't do it! Hang on. Can he kind of take out his, because apparently he's got fucking one on him. He's gonna take the hunting trap in his fucking back. I don't know where you'd store that. Try to clamp it onto the rock, tie a rope around it, and get down to help her, like, to try to pull her up so that they will have some leverage.
You pull out the trap and pull the teeth open, and you're looking around for some place to give it purchase against the rock. When you hear the sound of scraping behind you, and you look back, and one of her hands has fallen away. She pulls it back up as best as she can. You can hear her feet scraping against the rock face. There's no time. Help me, please. Help me.
He'll jump over and try to, like, two-handed pull on one of her arms to try to hold on and pull her up.
Make a dexterity check, please.
Ooh, dexterity? That we could do that.
You can do that. Just
We
like
could do
perception.
dexterity.
You can do it.
Yes.
Just as her grip is giving way, you reach out and grab her by the hand, just above the hand on her wrist. You have one hand and she reaches up and takes your arm with the other. Now I need a strength saving throw, please.
You have any advantages?
Don't need it.
You're strong.
It's only because I have proficiency in it.
You're able to
Proficient. Yeah.
you lean back, bending your legs and using your back to lift, and you're able to stabilize. You hear the scraping again as her boots, she's trying to find purchase against the wall and can't find any. Please, Idoso, pull me up. Pull me up. I don't want to fall. And you can see the tears running down her cheeks, glistening in the moonlight.
Citro, I've got you. Just hang on. Just gonna try to keep digging and pushing. I don't think I even have any, like, spells or anything of that nature, because that only impacts me. Got nothing. He's just gonna have to keep trying to pull.
Let's, this is just a strength check then, not a save.
I do have an advantage. I have 2. I have 1.
And I hear GMs are very magnanimous on their birthdays. And
You take a deep breath and pull as hard as you can. And you do, in fact, pull her up. You're bent over now, hunched down, trying to use that force to lean back into the wall. And your face is so close to hers for just a moment. And she looks into your eyes and she says, She's coming for you, Idoso. She's coming for us all. And at that moment, your strength gives out, but your grip does not. And you tumble, arm in arm, hand in hand with her over the side. And in the moonlight, you fall. Dulce, you were going to do something on your watch.
yes, I've been meditating. Do I hear any strange noises from my friend Idoso?
No, he seems to be sleeping peacefully.
That's good. I'll pull his bedroll a little higher and tuck him in. Right, I'm gonna go over to Cherry.
Cherry is sleeping up against a fallen log, and has the blanket that you all gave her wrapped tightly around her. She's not moving, but if you pause for just a moment, you can see her chest rise and fall.
I'm gonna shake her awake.
She awakes with a start and a quick intake of breath. What is it, Dulcinea?
Hi.
Are they here?
No, it's just me. Smiles.
What time is it?
It's moon o'clock. Doesn't matter. Hey, so I was thinking maybe that stuff that Aeronok knows about me that you found out could just stay between us.
Your friends don't know.
No, that's kind of, it's like a separate life. It's like a life that I no longer identify with. So it's in the past and they're the present, and we're just not gonna tell them anything, especially my multi-eyed friend.
Oh.
Who I'm gonna go snuggle with later.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry. It didn't really occur to me. I'm afraid that you were keeping secrets from them.
It's just.
I won't say another word.
It's irrelevant is the thing. It's completely irrelevant.
Of course. Yes.
Do you promise not to tell them?
You have my word, Dulcinea.
That's good. I take promises very seriously.
And so do I, Dulcinea.
You want to pinky promise it?
She cracks a smile.
I don't.
I haven't done that for a long time.
It's old magic.
She holds out her pinky to you.
I grab it with mine.
And she squeezes back.
All right, have a good sleep.
I'm sure you wouldn't trust me to keep watch alone, but if you need me for anything, just let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else on Dulce's watch?
No.
Dulce, you wake up Devlin for the final watch of the night, and Devlin, you're awake as the sun begins to rise over the mountains.
Like when she comes to wake up Devlin's probably like, just his eyes just sort of flick open just moments before. But
Yes.
from dancing quietly, we'll get up and start watch and prepare spells. And if there's any time left over during the watch, he will study the gauntlet. But that's
Yes.
obviously keeping watch is more important than studying the gauntlet. So it's whatever he needs to focus on.
Yeah. You do perhaps have just a few moments. The gauntlet that you very serendipitously discovered in the midst of the battle with the hill giants last night it looks like a gauntlet, but it doesn't look like any hand that you're familiar with. It only has 3 fingers, and they're sort of arrayed like a triangle. It's made of that bone-like material that many of the other odd artifacts that have been discovered after these raids, made from very light but quite strong. Around each of the 3 fingers, if that's what they are, there's a black band. The rest of it is yellow. As you experiment with it, I'll share with you the stat block here. This was for our new viewers, this was an alien artifact gift from Snowdog, our viewer last week, which you too can give. In fact, there's one coming for Dulce in just a few moments. But this one in particular, as you study it, rather than take the time to go through the experimentation, which would undoubtedly be a blast, what you discover about this is that it is a device that gives you a certain type of power over fire. It is very different from your fire-based magic. In this case, you know without activating it that what it would allow you to do is create a sphere of fire that you could then maneuver in the world around you, much like the spell that you're probably familiar with. There is another property to this, though, and you recognize that if activated, it would probably allow you to sheath your entire body in fire and not be burned, but that would provide a certain amount of armored protection for you, would make you invincible to other types of fire. Here's the catch, though. You know that if you put this on your hand, it's going to attach itself to you. It would not be irremovable, but it would hurt to take off. Oh, and you don't think it would get in the way of casting any of your magic.
Interesting. Okay. I think I'm going to hesitate then. I'm not going to actually put it on. Because I'm still a little distrustful of these things, and so he's kind of relegating it. I think, given everything that's going on, he's kind of relegating it in his head to emergency. But he will hold on to it. He'll put it in his pack, those stuff.
And as the sun rises, Devlin, your watch ends and you wake up your companions. Idoso, Devlin shakes you awake, and Devlin, you have to shake him a bit more than you might expect. He's sleeping very, very deeply. Idoso, he shakes you out of your nightmare.
It's still cold. Is it cold? It's still cold, isn't it?
It is. And as you wake up, you see perhaps just a dusting of snow now on the ground.
Oh, Devlin!
Hey. Back with us, eh?
Like, we didn't go anywhere, did we? Did we move? Like, further up the mountains?
Nope, still in the same place we bedded down. You're sleeping like a log.
I don't think I was sleeping. I mean, like, I've had some pretty weird dreams, and, like, sometimes those dreams will end up taking me to the Feywild. Again, it's kind of a long story. We just sleep portal jump, like, it's a thing that kind of happens. These just feel different. It's weird. I saw Cithril. She was in danger, falling off a cliff. Definitely kind of a crappy dream, because I couldn't save her. Or save myself, I think. But she said... it felt so real, Devlin. She said that someone is coming after us. After all of us. But she didn't get to say who. She looked petrified. Mortified, honest. I don't know, it's more scary either, whatever was coming after her, or hanging off the cliff. Devlin, it felt so real. I've never had a dream like that before.
Well, you're with us now. If we have a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and, if I can, I'm going to do, again, the detect magic ritual, just and check out Idoso, just to see if he's okay.
Sure.
if I notice anything weird going on with him.
Yeah. As you undertake the ritual, as the others are packing up and having a quick bite to eat, you don't find anything unusual.
Okay. And I was just basically saying, all right, at the end of it to him, I was like, it doesn't look as though you've got any effects of any sort on you now, but such things are... Such things can be prophetic, especially with folks who do the kinds of things you do, yeah?
Oh yeah, that was also kind of weird. I mean, usually when I dream, there's definitely always a portal. Like, if it's a dream that I don't like, I'll just hop a portal and go into a different one. There are no portals here. Like, none at all. It was silent.
Well, also considering where we are, there are a lot of them that were long sealed, as they may be reacting with, what you, with your nature.
Maybe. There's so many portals around here.
Yeah.
Kind of. I don't know. Did you have a dream? What about Dulce? Ardent?
So,
Just sleep well?
Dulce is tucked in Ardent's bedroll behind them. For some reason, she decided to beat the big spoon. I was so generous, and gave Cherry my bedroll because I'm so nice. That's why.
Yeah, I'm pretty. So, like in the shifting of shift for watch, I'm pretty sure like when Ardent went to bed, Dulce was in there, and so it's probably this very chaste side by side thing, and then they wake up snuggling. As you do platonically, clearly.
Hiya, Ardent.
Good morning.
We should have tried this before. It is much warmer.
Right, and Ardent's already starting to sit up.
Mm-hmm. Hi, everyone.
Good morning. And Ardent is sliding out as I won't say graceful because it's not a graceful.
Ugh! I get rolled over.
As quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And Cherry has awakened as well, and she's rolled up the blanket that you gave her, Dulce, and she comes over to you. Thank you for this.
You're welcome. Yes, I'm very altruistic. It's what I was known for in my old days.
She's trying to give it back to you.
Oh yeah, no, I take it. It's mine.
Okay. And if any of you have, you're heating anything over the fire, she'll ask. She'll look for a few moments before she asks. May I?
Yeah, come on, eat up. We gotta get moving.
So, it is, the sun is still not quite up over the mountains to your east, but that's what mornings are like in the mountains. There's that soft glow in the sky, and there's still, it's cloudy, there's still snow flurries falling, kind of collecting in this light dusting on the ground and in the trees.
Cherry.
You have seen where you are on our map, but go ahead.
Do you think they went straight to the bridge?
I can't say. As I said last night, they were quite kept to themselves about their plans.
Did you see which way they rode off? Was it that way, or that way?
Let me just pull my map here so I can make sure I'm giving good information. The road that leads into this evergreen forest now continues to the north. You're still a good half a day's ride south of where the path splits and goes west to Mountain Home, and then not long after that it goes east to Saxifrage.
Gotcha. Alright, well, what's the next step? My guess is that they headed straight for the bridge, but do we need to stop in Mountain Home or Saxifrage to see what's going on there?
think it's wise to know what's going on. These incidents are not unconnected, to say the least. Whether we go to one or to both, I'm not sure.
I don't have a strong opinion.
Suppose it depends on what information we're looking for, then. Are we more drawn to finding out more about these potential attacks? We're more interested in preserving the livelihoods and lives of those who may be affected by what's going on? Or we're more interested in seeing what our counterparts have been up to?
I'm interested in the last one.
I'm also kind of a bit concerned, but now I can't get rid of the echo of, like, who is her? What does that even mean?
Dulce kind of looks at Devlin.
Yeah, Devlin is looking very pensive, just in general this morning. And so he just sort of returns your look with sort of a very serious kind of just a light nod, and just going to shake his head. And I can see any of those providing us with some help. I know that we should find out what this Aranok lad is up to, because it could be potentially disastrous, but at the same time, it's my mandate also to try to save lives. Similarly, if we find out more information about these forces, then that may assist us against whatever Aranok is doing later. So there's advantages to doing any of the things that we are discussing here.
Cherry speaks up. She says, What I know is that they were moving with great speed. It wasn't only because you were after us. It was because of Aranok's urgency to find whatever the power was that he was seeking.
Lady, you're good at reading people, yes. So I would wager. Do you think that he knew what sort of source he was looking for, or do you think that he was merely trying to find out what the source of the power is?
I believe, Forge Master, that she was guiding him in some way. She was using him, seeing through his eyes, hearing through his ears.
We need to catch him.
Could have been a double cross all this time.
What?
And he actually does say that very low,
Yeah.
so he sort of says that under his breath. And he's looking up and he says, I agree.
Well, let's start riding then. Cherry, you can have my horse. I'll ride with Ardent.
Ardent raised a brow. All right.
You ride hard.
Ardent doesn't think that with a response.
Dignify that with an answer.
Go to the horses.
Yes.
I think as we're like packing up, Dulce goes over to Idoso. You're quiet this morning.
Just a bit cold. Kind of had a messed up dream.
Did you go anywhere?
He kind of looks up to like the mountains that they can see in the background, right? I mean, they're kind of right there.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. We're just in big rock. I mean, also he's tiny, so there's everything's a mountain to him at this point.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be connected, could be nothing. Just the spooks or something, but I'm kind of worried for Cethral. Especially with everything that Charity's saying. If really the other folks, well, not even the other folks, she didn't seem to know. She had no reason to know. She thought she was going to be coming to the meeting with us. And then she wasn't there.
Well, we can ride in all gallant-like and save her with the truth.
But we also do kind of have like a much bigger picture thing to kind of worry about as well, yeah?
Yeah, but I think the part of that is definitely stopping that Aeronok fella. I mean, I don't like anyone going around spreading my secrets. And the lady he works for is a frosty bitch.
Well, that's the good thing about being friends, at least. Like, if you have secrets, you don't have to tell me. It's completely fine. I'm sure we all have them. But if he's got something on you, we could stop it.
Oh, yeah. I fully intend to. Even if the others have a different plan.
Well, whatever you need, let me know. And I'll...
And I've got your back, too.
I know you do. Do you also have, like, an extra blanket or something? I'm a bit, like, it's just
yeah,
cold.
you can have the one Cherry had. Here you go.
Thanks.
It's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah. Ardent, I'm coming.
Dulce, as you're walking over to mount up with Ardent, you trip over something on the ground.
I trip.
You look down and see what appears to be, at first glance, a perfectly straight stick, perhaps off of one of the evergreen trees. But as you look a little bit closer, you realize that it's not organic at all. It's gray. It's the right color, but it didn't come from a tree.
I'll pick it up.
What you pick up is a rod. It is a...
Got two now.
This one is... It's quite a bit longer than the reality spike that you discovered earlier.
Yeah, the reality spike is thicker. It's got more girth.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. This is... It's about a yard long, about 3 feet or a meter long.
Wow.
And it has it has what looks like a knob on one side of the cylinder at one end. And the far end of this thing is, as I said, it's gray, but now as you look at it, the 3 inches on the other side from where the knob is, those 3 inches are There's some kind of metal, iron or steel, polished very highly.
Does the knob look like it gets pressed or screwed?
Pressed, probably.
I press it.
You're holding it in both hands, and you press that knob with one hand, and out of the other end, that 3 inches of steel at the other end flies out and flies through the trees and the branches, and it just like a whip. And there's some kind of cable trailing out behind it, some kind of black gray cable. It goes and goes for 6 or 8 seconds, perhaps, before it ka-chink stops. And now there's this long cable trailing out into the woods in the direction that it fired. You all hear this, by the way.
I thought it was a stick. I'm going to just run into the trees and see where it ended. I'll be right back. Don't worry about it.
Sweet! What should you do?
I don't know.
As you're, are you still holding the rod in your hand?
Yeah.
As you do, you inadvertently press the button again, and it begins to just sort of suck up all of that cable, and within about 5 seconds, it is back together in the form in which you found it.
I still want to see where it landed. Did it like hit the first thing it came across, or was it just running, following it?
Yeah, you can see the trail that it took out, and you don't get it more than about 10 feet before you hear a clinking sound, and you look down and see that the metal end of that has adhered itself to your rapier. You have a rapier, right? Is that what you're carrying? It's adhered itself to your rapier. It's ka-chink. It's magnetic, some kind of very strong magnet. In fact, it takes most of your strength to separate the two.
I'll put it on my other hip. Okay, I'm gonna run back.
Yeah. Stats for this item forthcoming. It is, when you get the stats, you will see that it is called an instant bridge.
Ooh.
And you mount onto Ardent's horse, and the 5 of you now head north. And let me make sure that I understand. You are continuing to follow the road north. Is that right?
Yeah, I think our plan is to keep tracking them. We're gonna try to ride them down.
Okay.
Like we kind of are assuming where they're going, so...
Yeah. We'll probably have to stop and look.
Yeah.
But it should,
Maybe
I
when we
mean,
get to
the
that
tracks are fairly recent this time. And if the bridge is down, right?
The bridge at Giant's Gorge was destroyed,
Right.
and there's a team of builders under the leadership of an engineer there who are working to repair it.
Okay, so that will slow them down if they're going that way.
Yeah. Or we can try and double check on tracking when we get to the fork.
Yeah.
Just kind of
Yeah.
make sure they're still heading that way.
Sounds good.
Good.
One thing I do want to... Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, please. No, go ahead.
All right. One thing I do want to add, I am going to talk to Idoso about, Devlin will ask Idoso if he recognized, if he remembers any landmarks or anything from the dream, any particular mountain peaks or anything that stand out in his memory, because Devlin's been around this area before, these areas before, so he might, if there's anything that we might give him an idea of where they might, where he was.
I think in like a
Maybe where the
typical,
unfortunate
typical Idoso storytelling fashion.
There was these cliffs. They were at least 2,000 feet high. You couldn't even see right, where they would end. And then if you were to look down, they were about at least another 3,000 feet, as if it was going straight down to hell. But it wasn't. There's, I think, maybe like a little river or something that was good. But they were the biggest mountains I've ever seen.
So it might not be super well
Yeah. But keeping in
discernible.
mind, Devlin keeping in mind to divide everything by 3, it's going to try to just from the description is going to try to see if he remembers any areas that might resemble that or might be, or where that might sound like, if at all possible.
Sure. How about a history check, Devlin?
We shall attempt it.
Nice.
What do you want?
Yes, and in fact, as it's described to you, this sounds very much like the most dangerous part of the path of the road, such as it is, that leads to the tower at High Moraine.
Okay. Do I know roughly map-wise where that is?
Yes. So you, we're here where the tower at High Moraine sits. It's kind of like Kedron's Crag was. It sits atop a high crag on one of the barrier peaks that kind of comes down to where the rivers meet here and overlooks that intersection of the two rivers that form the Tumble down. In order to get there, you have to climb up into those mountains, and within the last half mile or so, there is a path that gets very, very narrow, a high gorge looking down over the river that sounds quite similar to what Idoso described.
So right up by High Moraine.
Yes.
Okay. So while we are heading north, I am it's hard to know per se, but I will ride up a little, just alongside the Ardent / Dulce horse, and I will just let them know from the. You can't be completely certain what this means, but it sounds from the way Idoso is telling it that his dream was taking place in the most dangerous part of the path within about half a mile of High Moraine itself. I don't know that they'd have been able to get up that far yet, but perhaps.
I don't think that's possible.
Might not be. Yeah. They might at least tell us something about the intent in play behind his receiving that dream.
Something to keep in mind for a route.
Agreed.
So, what I'd like to do is, as you're riding, it's about a day's ride to where the road turns west to Mountain Home. So what I'd like to do is, first off, I would like for who has the highest perception score in the group?
That's a good question.
Oh,
I have a +5.
I have
Oh
a
wait,
+7.
it's you.
It's me, Dulcinea.
All right, then. What I'd like first, Dulce, would you make a perception roll for your ride here?
Hi, Raiders. Again. Oh my God, Jess. Hi.
Yes, welcome, Raiders.
We're tracking
You
our
are-
evil twin party. They're evil unequivocally. There's no doubt about it. We were right from the get-go.
They're not all
In-
evil. Maybe.
in a search for aliens, maybe?
Maybe.
In the barrier peaks.
I'm gonna use
No,
an
your
advantage.
perception roll, please.
I'm gonna use an
right.
advantage because I don't trust you. Is that cool?
I like that. I like that about you.
26! I am the rogue. That is me.
Wonderful. Thank you. And your ride today is cold and hard. The wind is picking up, and the snow as the day goes on it becomes a bit more than just flurries. In fact, as you come close to the first of the crossroads here that leads to Mountain Home, there's about an inch of snow on the ground. And now, Idoso, let's make your tracking roll here, shall we? To see where
That was it? It's
your
just
friends.
snowy?
That was it?
With the 26, it's just snowy?
Oh,
That was-
I see
on
the
the ground.
tracks. I see the tracks.
Oh, those tracks right there?
I don't know. You'll have to look, I guess. God damn it. That's like my best roll this whole game, Allie.
I fucking love it so much. What am I doing?
Survival.
If there was something to see, you would have seen it.
Oh my god.
Move stealthily at a normal pace. Find so much food while tracking creatures. You learn the exact number, size, and how long ago they passed through this area. Because I'm tracking. So that's survival, yeah?
Yes.
Does he get an
I thought-
advantage from my awesome perception check?
No, he does
Oh
not.
my god.
It's my birthday, not yours, dear.
My birthday is very soon. It's like a month away.
Idoso, your tracking tells you that the other group has not turned toward Mountain Home. They've continued northward. And I'm assuming that you're going to ride on into the night as you have in the past to see what you know about whether they've turned to Saxbridge or not. Yes?
Yeah.
Why don't you make one other tracking roll for me then, Idoso?
Okay. If we're hitting the night stuff too,
Well,
I'd also use
I
like
was going to
planar.
say that for
Yeah, please, go ahead.
For the two humans, Ardent had light. I forgot I had that because Azamars are a thing. so she's definitely
I
gonna.
can see now. Yeah, give
Yeah,
me
she's
light,
probably gonna
light,
take a
light,
couple
light,
of
light.
objects, like just small handheld whatever, and we'll cast light on them and pass them over to.
Just cast light on Devlin's cloak.
Just the biggest target.
That's gonna mess up my dark vision.
Wizard.
We'll be like, ah.
Oh, if Idoso had that spell, it would be so.
So we have two light sources, one for each human that can't see the dark.
Very good. Thank you. Idoso, why don't you make
24.
There it is. Very good. They do not appear to have turned to the east to Saxifrage either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do this. You, not long after this, have to camp for the evening. You set up camp as the snow continues to fall under. You find a copse of pine trees that provide you with some cover. And for the first night since you've entered into the mountains, the tents come out. Perhaps not in full, but enough to provide you with some overhead cover. And when you wake up the next morning, you feel fortunate and wise for having done so, because there is now about 2 inches of snow. It continues to fall slowly as you are making your way north, just a
And I'm
day south now.
So good at seeing it. I can see every snowflake.
Very, very good.
The detail
Very,
in
very
each
good.
one. None are the same.
That's why she's called that salty ginger, folks. It's as you are setting out the next morning, now feeling fairly certain as though your the other group is riding for Giant's Gorge and the broken bridge. Perhaps they didn't get the intel that you got from Lady Barrelhelm that the bridge was out. But it's as you're leaving camp the next morning that I would like for you to all make perception checks for me, please.
I think I should use my previous one. Nice, Ardent. Nice.
I don't know why that rolled twice, but
Yeah. Big 9 this time. Big 9.
Which one of those would you like to take?
I don't know. Which one would I?
Maybe the
20,
nat
please.
20. That one's calling to me.
I mean, it also was the first one to
Yeah,
pop
that's
up.
true. You know, fair is fair. Allie, fair is fair.
Well, Ardent, you do see snow, and you see quite a bit of it. And then something else. A bit of movement in the trees up ahead of you. Perhaps it's quick, but you blink all 4 of your eyes for a moment. You feel fairly certain that there was something there.
How far away?
Somewhere between 30 and 50 feet. It was hard to say with snow continuing to fall in the trees, but...
Ardent's going to not pause, but I think start to steer the horse, not where she saw the movement, but where she would imagine that the trajectory would be, kind of cross paths.
Yeah. You ride ahead. Are you just riding at your regular speed at this point?
Yeah, a little faster. No warning to
Okay.
Dulce.
I just grab on tighter.
You pick up a bit of speed and ride, and you begin to veer to the left off of the road just a bit. The road, by the way, at this point has become a trail through the woods. Fortunately, the ground is frozen, so it's not muddy or too terribly hard on your horses. You veer off a bit, and how about another perception check? And Dulce, you can make one here too,
Oh, thanks.
if you like.
I can't wait to see these
Plus.
snowflakes. Ah, wait, no, hold on. Wait, everything disappeared. Oh, 11.
Perhaps you are imagining it?
Psst. Are you looking at the snow too? It's very romantic.
I swear I saw movement this way.
Where?
In the direction that I steered the horse in.
Oh, right, that makes sense. What, like in the banks?
Running past off the road. Couldn't catch what it was, but
Can you point the last place you saw it?
Ardent will point.
I'm gonna flick a ball bearing over there.
Nice. You are you trying to like right into where she was pointing at, just in that direction?
Yeah, I'll probably actually take a handful. I think is probably a better idea. Like, I don't know, like 6 or whatever, and
Yeah.
in like an arc around there.
Yeah. Ooh, this is good. Why don't you see? This is why D&D needs a luck stat. Well, you sort of scatter this few ball bearings out hard in front of you in a fan, and you hear them begin to fall to the ground, and then one of them makes a clinking sound like it's hitting something metal. And as it does, out of from behind a rise in front of you, let's see, oh, am I able to do that? Oh, it popped, there it is, it popped up in the chat. You see something that looks like that in our Roll20 chat.
Oh.
It's so cute.
I put it up on screen.
Yeah, do. You see something that looks like that. And it raises one of those spindly arms towards you. And it makes one of the strangest sounds you've ever heard. And you hear a popping sound. And that is where we will end tonight's episode of Strange Invasion.
There's robots!
So,
What is that?
on the Barrier Peak.
Robots and Dungeons and Dragons that are Warforged. What is it?
What is it? Look at it.
It's so cute.
It's like a little chicken.
Oh my god! Can I
I
be its friend? Can I Beastmaster it? Can it be my pet? Can I ride it? I want it. No robots.
Well, you asked for
I did.
for alien shit.
I did.
And here we are. Don't say I never did anything for you, baby. What a blast. Thank you all so much for this episode tonight. This was so much fun. Some mysteries revealed and other new mysteries emerge. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see where you take all of this. Let's hear a little bit from each one of our players. Tell us who you are and where we can find you, and tell us one thing that you're doing right now in TTRPG space, or elsewhere for that matter, that you really love, and our very own halfling planewalker Gnome. Why don't we start with you?
Hi. What an episode. We didn't die, which is good. But also, I asked for one biscuit. You gave us like the whole dang Kentucky Fried bucket. I don't even know where to begin. My name is Gnome. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Gnomedic. I do TTRPG things in TTRPG spaces. Obviously, I'm here every Mondays and freaking love it because it's Dungeons and Dragons and also like space and aliens, and now there's robots. One thing that I'm doing, if you like waking up in the morning, which I hope that most people do, you come hang out with Air Savant and I. We have a morning talk show where it literally is just us drinking coffee and trying to wake the fuck up before we have to start our days. So come hang out. It's very fun. We do it like whenever we feel like it. Honestly, if we don't feel like waking up, we're not gonna do it. But usually it's like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But tomorrow because we missed today, we'll be here tomorrow. So come hang out. Come say hi. Grab some coffee. Grab some tea. Come chat.
Awesome.
You know, it is, as I shared earlier, today is my birthday, which means tomorrow starts a brand new year of my life.
Hey.
And I'm making all of these sort of resolutions, et cetera, et cetera. So getting up early and hanging out with Gnome and Arasavad sounds like a good resolution. Might have to give that a try.
Come hang out for sure.
I mean, you'll be
I'd
up
love
at
to.
6:30 anyway.
That's true, because I almost always am.
Yep.
Yep. Early risers. That's why we're like, yeah, let's go fucking do it. Like, why not?
No, thanks for hanging out tonight. And I wanted to let you know personally that the big advantage that you used during the dream, you can have that advantage back. It feels unfair to me
Can
to
I
let
have
you know. No,
mine
it's
back
yours. You
from
get it
that
back.
perception check?
Ooh.
That was
No.
had
No, you can't, babe.
interesting consequences to it. Yes, I can.
That's
I'm taking it back.
I refuse to take it back.
I'll
It had
take it.
it added to the element of the story, whether it was successful or not. It was a challenge roll, and it was partial success and partial not. I accept
Very
this.
good.
Thank you, though. for
I
being
will
so
take
generous.
Gnome's advantage, as is my right.
Jim saved me.
We got us a robot. I'm excited. No, I'm very excited about that. I will say, Devlin is now got a terrible suspicion that has come very much to the forefront of his mind, and a terrible sense of urgency ever since he heard that the queen might be looking through Aronach's eyes. that perhaps we'll find out more about in future weeks, as to exactly why Devlin is so worried now. But yeah, this was straight for the heart daggers today.
You know,
we're good. No, it's good. It's a good feeling. And it's this is I'm really keen to see where this goes now. I really am. Not that I wasn't before, but damn. Great escalation there. Great. Absolutely fabulous. So
means a lot coming from you, Jim.
No, but who am I? What am I doing? I am Jim Ryan. I am a writer, streamer, and podcaster. I am OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where I have links to various things. You can check out information on my schedule on my Twitch page. I got it on there. The one project that I will shout out today that I'm doing will be Thursday nights. We are continuing our short campaign of The Sprawl, which is a cyberpunk powered by the Apocalypse game, run brilliantly by our MC Brian, where I'm playing the nicest killer cyborg that one could ever meet. He just wants friends. That's all he really wants. And for the duration, until the end of that campaign, it's going to be a relatively short campaign, but until the end of it, we are helping to raise donations for the Veil Project. To help out protesters. So we are Team Phyllis on the Veil Project, which is an inside joke about an NPC named Phyllis around whom we decided the entire world revolves. But check that out if you have time. If you want to check out any other stuff I'm doing, just go to the Twitch page or to my Twitter, and I announce various things there. This was awesome. Can't wait to get back to it.
Wonderful. I thank you so much. And before I pass it off to our hosts tonight, I want to say thank you as well. And thank you especially to our raiders from Straticus Academy. I knew I would get there. And Jess from your channel as well. Thank you all so much for coming to join us and hang out tonight. You are always welcome here in the Barrier Peaks and here at Salty Sweet Games. I am Allie. I am not just your Dungeon Master here, but I appear on Saturday mornings in our Mask of Nyarlathotep campaign, where I play Ganymede Graves, adventure scientist. She's very British, with a terrible British accent because I'm playing her. But if you are into like Indiana Jones meets the Cthulhu mythos, you would love this game. So come out and join us at babe, what time is it on Saturday mornings?
9 a.m. Pacific.
9 Pacific, thank you, and noon Eastern. I'm just so grateful. Today's my birthday. There is no way I would rather spend it than hanging out and getting to play with these awesome people. For all of you who joined us tonight, you have my love and devotion, and we will see you next week.
Alrighty, let's
Salty Sweet.
Yeah, let's do some quick personal things.
Yeah. So I'm Kienna. I am the sweet of this channel. Y'all can find me over on Twitter at KiennaS. Best way to figure out what I'm doing with the internet, all sorts of role-playing things. Shout out that tomorrow is the finale of the Simbaroom series over on WebDM. We're Shadow of the Colossus this shit. We're gonna fight a big moving pile of buildings.
Oh, good.
It's gonna be fine. I'm a sorcerer that has no hit points and on the verge of becoming dark. It's great. It's cool. So definitely check that out. But otherwise, I'm mostly just here, hanging out, doing cool stuff here.
And I'm Lauren. I'm Not Salty Ginger over on Twitter. Again, you can mostly find me here. I have a finale of an Urban Shadows campaign on Thursday night over at the Scroticus Academy. I'll post about it on Twitter. But I'm excited for that. Also, I'll be part of Otterthon this month, running a game of Fear itself, which I am so stoked for because I just discovered the system, and maybe me, Kienna, and Summer are testing it out for reasons. Very exciting reasons. Secret reasons. Yes. Otherwise, you can find me doing various one-shots and other things all over. I have something really exciting happening in August, but it hasn't been announced yet, but it will be. And it'll be awesome. And that's it for me.
Yeah.
Yay.
So let's go over our channel stuff one more time. Another thank you to our sponsors, Roll20,
Roll20.
help of choice. They help to bring gamers across no matter what distance to play games virtually. It's awesome. We got to do stuff like this. We are part of the Spotlight program, which helps to highlight all sorts of awesome TTRPG creators in the space. So please go check out the Roll20 Spotlight to find out more awesome content that y'all can watch or participate in, or whatever else. As well, another shout out to our other sponsor, Dice Envy. They help provide beautiful cooklacks for everybody. You can use the code SaltySweet, all capital word, to get 10% off of your purchase and directly support us, which is an awesome thing. Speaking of supporting us, thank you so much, everybody.
That
who
was
has
wild.
subbed, gifted subs, followed, all of that stuff today. We hit a level 5 hype train with almost 500%. Heckin' wild. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. Again, all of the donations and subs here go to keep the lights on at Salty Games as we pay for everything out of pocket, and eventually moving to helping to compensate our cast as well for their awesome talents, because we believe in that. So again, thank you so much for supporting us. If you ever miss an episode or want to rewatch one, we have a YouTube channel. We're very close to 100 stuff. Please save me from my misery.
Please, God, save us.
We're like eight subs away. Please help me. But I upload our VODs there. Sometimes they get eaten by the copyright monster.
We're fighting it, though.
We're fighting it. It's a DC 20 monster. It sucks.
It's a fake claim, too. It's just so
they're all fake claims. So definitely go and follow us there to keep up with our stuff. And as well, of course, follow us on Twitter, where we announce when we go live for... holy shit. Sorry, I just...
Super duper cool. Thank you so much. Oh my God.
Sorry. Wow. That's a lot.
I'm going to need like a lie down.
Yeah,
we're
going to need a lie down after all this. Thank you very much. But please follow us on Twitter to keep up with what we're doing. We announce when we go live for our regular series, or for one-shots or impromptu video game streams as we do. Speaking of that, I do want to say that on Saturday, we'll be live with our regular Master Nylath type game. And we have a special return of our Ross Rifles one-shot series, GM'd by our friend channel Jason, and featuring a lot of really awesome people, including one of the co-creators of Ross Rifles. So if you're into a PBTA, a World War I game about Canadian soldiers on the front, it's really awesome. My poor character got really fucked up last time emotionally, almost had a man die in her arms, and then got shunned for feeling bad about it because he was an enemy soldier. So she's gonna have a great time studying with this one shot on Saturday. So please check us out over there. We are going to go raid our friend over at Indoor Recess. I
Carlos
believe Carlos
is streaming. He's teaching people how to edit using Premiere, which is super awesome. And
Yeah.
Carlos is awesome, and he's our friend, and we want to go say hi.
Yeah, we love Indoor Recess, all the people there, and Carlos as well. So please stick around and chat. If you have the hype emote, if you just got that today, please spam that hype when we go and raid. Otherwise, if you don't, just spam some hearts for love from us at Dulce Games. Share that wonderful community enthusiasm and love that you've shown us all tonight to another wonderful group of people. That's it from us. We will see you on Saturday, if not earlier, because sometimes we decide to stream video games. Hope you like it. But yeah, I think that's it.
Wait, bye, everybody. Bye. Thank you. Bye.